Don't forget to check out and order your copy of our latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. You can find this on our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Be on the lookout for other titles, and we have this book available in both paperback and PDF form. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our 2015 NFL team preview for the New England Patriots. And let's get this video kicked off by taking a look at the quarterback position. Regardless of the suspension ruling, the Patriots are still in good shape at quarterback. Tom Brady had yet another outstanding season for New England, and if he misses 2, 3, or even 4 games, whatever it ends up being, he'll return and the offense won't miss a beat. And in the interim, I think Jimmy Garoppolo, the second-year guy out of Eastern Illinois, can more than hold his own at quarterback in a quote-unquote keeping the seat warm type of a role. Garoppolo also brings the added benefit of mobility, which could add another wrinkle to this offensive attack. The Patriots are one of the only teams I've seen to perfect the running back by committee approach. They don't necessarily have a guy, but they have a group of guys that can contribute, and I think that's what you'll see a lot of this year once again. LeGarrette Blount, in my opinion, is the back that'll get the bulk of the carries, and he has very good footwork and balance for a running back his size. And I would also look to a trio of guys in Travaris Cadet coming over from the New Orleans Saints, James White, and Jonas Gray to offset the loss of both Shane Vereen and Stephen Ridley. If given the opportunity, don't rule out Dion Lewis as well. I'm a big fan of his versatility and what he brings to the table. I believe the Patriots are stronger at tight end than they are at wide receiver, and that doesn't mean that they're bad per se on the flanks. I think they're just okay. The good news is that they're dependable enough to work well within their system to cause fits for opposing defenses, which is all you can ask for as a coach. And if they can get a healthy 16 out of Danny Amendola, Julian Edelman, and Brandon LaFell, they'll do just fine once again. But I do feel as though it's time for one of those younger guys like Josh Boyce or Aaron Dobson to step up and emerge as a factor in this offense. Now at tight end, Rob Gronkowski consistently makes his case week after week for being the best tight end in the NFL. Gronk is a throwback player that does his job exceptionally well on both ends of offense. And I like the signing of Scott Chandler in free agency to go along with Michael Humanawanui. If healthy, Chandler gives them a solid number 2 option, allowing Humanawanui to excel as an H-back. Rookie A.J. Derby out of Arkansas is a really good athlete that is a capable blocker, and if he gets a handle on this offense from an understanding standpoint, he may actually be the ideal number 2 tight end in this offense and could vault up the depth chart come September. Some question the offensive line. I still think it's solid. Center Brian Stork acclimated himself well as a rookie starter and should continue to solidify his selection last season. There's plenty of options at guard. Ryan Wendell can play both guard spots. Marcus Cannon can play both guard and tackle. And in the 4th round of the NFL draft, the Patriots doubled down on 2 versatile athletic interior offensive linemen in Trey Jackson from Florida State and Shaq Mason from Georgia Tech. Jackson could contend for a starting guard spot, and in my opinion, I would also go with Mason over Wendell at right guard. I really like what he brings to the table in the run blocking department. Josh Klein also provides depth on the inside. Now the strength obviously is on the edges with Sebastian Vollmer and Nate Solder. Both guys are tremendous bookends, and as I mentioned earlier, Cannon can back up at left tackle, and they still have last year's 4th round pick Cameron Fleming out of Stanford backing up Vollmer on the right side. Fleming excels in the running game. Contrary to popular belief, the Patriots have retooled their defensive line. I think what they have now is very talented. Yes, they lose Vince Wilfork on the inside, but look for a combination of talented individuals to make it work. Young guys like rookie 1st-round pick Malcolm Brown out of Texas, who can play multiple techniques on the inside. Second-year man Dominic Easley, who has disruptive quickness off the ball, as well as Chris Jones, who's cut from the same cloth as Easley. They'll pair up next to Alan Branch, who was a midseason addition last year that played good ball down the stretch. Silver Salaga and Joe Volano are good depth guys as well, and on the edges, Chandler Jones has been a very solid to very good defensive end during his time in New England, as well as Rob Ninkovich. And I think the signing of Jabal Sheard from Cleveland in free agency was a good one, as it'll allow the Patriots to put an extra rusher on the field in certain situations with both Jones and Ninkovich. And last year's 6th-round pick Zach Moore can also kick down inside as a defensive tackle if need be. And I think he and rookie 4th-round pick Trey Flowers will provide quality rotational minutes. So overall, even without Wilfork, I still think this is a much improved defensive line. Depth is a question at linebacker for New England. They had to release Brandon Spikes, whom they signed just earlier in the offseason, to take some of the pressure off of Gerard Mayo, who's coming off yet another injury-shortened season. Mayo has to stay healthy, otherwise it could be a problem at the Mike linebacker spot. The Patriots did bring back Dane Fletcher as insurance, and they have good talent at outside linebacker with Dante Hightower and Jamie Collins. Collins is an athletic playmaker in all 3 facets of defense, while Hightower finished 2nd on the team in tackles with 61 and also in sacks with 6. The depth is sketchy at best as well, but I do think Darius Fleming, now fully healthy, could surprise, and I would keep an eye on undrafted free agent DJ Lynch from Bowling Green. Lynch has the ability to play Mike and could surprise and make the squad. The secondary, at least the cornerback position, is a big question mark for the Patriots. They lose their top 2 corners in free agency, and I do think both Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler are solid starters and can get the job done. But now you wonder about the depth behind those guys. They do bring back Justin Green, and they also add Bradley Fletcher via free agency from the Philadelphia Eagles. Both guys, along with Robert McClain, who also came over via free agency, will compete for the 3rd spot. I would keep an eye on Dax Swanson out of Sam Houston State, a guy that I think is the better choice at nickel. Now, the safety spot is a little bit more stable with Devin McCourty, who's one of the better free safeties in the league, and Patrick Chung at strong safety. And Chung is the guy that I think will have to hold off rookie 2nd-round pick Jordan Richards out of Stanford. Deron Harmon has quietly turned himself into a solid reserve, giving New England some good depth back deep. The kicking game is elite for the Patriots, as both Steven Gostkowski and punter Ryan Allen are amongst the best at their position. They also are extremely stout with their coverage units as well, but I worry about the return game in the sense that is it worth keeping guys like Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola back there returning kicks, knowing how often they get nicked up and banged up? I would look for one of the backs to probably take over that role. I have the Patriots finishing 1st in the AFC East this year. They do a great job week-to-week game planning from scheme to personnel, and I think they'll be able to stay on track enough despite who's in or out of the lineup en route to a division title. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Patriot fan forums for always showing football game plan support.